Hi everybody, Chris Stokes from Custom Fitness, home of your health and wellness information, right? So today we're talking about sprint, rest, repeat. Have you ever started to run and you hear about a walk jog program where you walk a little ways and you jog a little ways, and then as you get better you start to actually run, which is more like a sprint. Depending on how your jog is, it may feel like that. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. So every season throughout the year comes with its highs and lows, with its busy times and its slow times. And a lot of times that brings frustration. It also brings procrastination. I hear it a lot. Well, when things calm down, I'll do XYZ. The problem is things never calm down. There's never a point in your life where you stop, sit down and look around and think, you know what, I need to add a ton of stuff in here because I am just bored. As adults, we really find ways to not be bored all the time. So we have to begin to understand really how to ebb and flow with these highs and lows instead of feeling frustrated as we hit the walls of stress coming up. So I bring this up because holidays are upon us, and that is typically a big point of stress for a lot of people. But it doesn't have to be the holidays. Maybe it is graduation. Maybe it's birthday season. I know in our family we have a lot of birthdays all in 1 month out of the year, and it just feels like you're celebrating birthdays for weeks and weeks. So those can be stressful too as far as your goals. So usually what happens as humans is we wait for a deadline to approach. Say Christmas, right? We wait for that deadline to approach. We're getting closer to it, and we're not really doing anything because we're really stressed out. And then all of a sudden we hit panic mode. Oh my goodness, I haven't done anything that I'm supposed to do, and now we gotta go, right? That's why the stores are open on Christmas Eve, correct? So we've got to make sure that we start to kind of change that, right? Because then after Christmas happens, what happens? Like, you wait that whole time, you panic, you go shopping, say Christmas Eve or right around there, and then after Christmas, it's done. Don't think about it again until we get to December 18th, 20th next year. So how can we start to flip that? Well, before we start to look at that too much, I also want to give the example of fitness and health with this, because I have a good friend who, for the longest time, was very involved in triathlons and would do a great job at them. I mean, just amazing with these triathlons. But she would train for months and months and months to get ready for this. The triathlon would happen, and then she would stop and not do anything until she had signed up for another one, and then start training again. So motivation was that she signed up for a new one, she needed to keep training. The bad part was that when she wasn't motivated to sign up for one, she wasn't training. So therefore, the next time that training came about, it felt that much harder. It became a frustration, and it kind of made her not want to do it sometimes. So it just it leads to different feelings, different emotions that cause you to derail yourself, if you will. So what if instead of doing that, you could strategically plan for the high stress or holiday times and the low stress or maintenance times, right? Like, how could we do that? Well, if we start to think about maintaining during your harder times. So everybody comes in, they say, okay, Christmas and New Year's is coming. I want to look my best. I want to get in shape. I want to do all these things. I've got 6 weeks. And that's great. You can do it. But it's going to be a lot harder work than if you'd taken the 3 to 4 months before to really focus on it, right? So if you understand that you need a little bit of prep time to get through that, that starts to help. Well, what if you also start to understand this frustration that people go through where they gain weight over the holidays and they just can't figure that out on why that happens every year and how they can't get it off, and they start to panic because they're gaining weight instead of losing weight, and they're still working really hard, but they can't seem to get it to do what it wants to do. So the problem there is that we have the wrong expectations for the wrong season of our life. During high stress times, we have to understand that our body is doing so much work to keep us awake, to be thinking as well as we are, to be focusing on things, to be multitasking, to be picking up the kids, to be taking things to work, going to these events, taking things there, that we've got to understand that whenever we say, okay, now lose weight too, and we're not able to give it the sleep it needs or the food it needs or the exercise time that it needs consistently, that it can't do that. So with our clients, we work on a mode of consistency and maintenance over the holiday season, which typically leads to them either maintaining their weight or losing weight during that time because they're so focused on the habits that we've ingrained on what they're doing consistently, that adding in these little extra things here and there don't seem to matter as much. And that's an awesome thing, right? So if we start to understand that during high times of stress, we need to focus on maintaining what we have instead of trying to progress, our mind will get less frustrated. And as a bonus, we might even progress a little bit and get to see that bonus happiness, right? So During the holidays, during high times of stress, maintenance is your goal. And that sounds really silly, but you cannot progress full steam ahead at all times. You have to have times where you dial it back a little bit, and that's that rest part. The sprint part is where we come out of that stressful season. So maybe right after the holidays, when say January hits and everybody starts saying, okay, now I'm going to get back in shape. That's a great time to do your sprint. That's a great time to really focus hard, put everything you've got into your efforts, and make sure that you're making progress during that time. Well, a lot of people think of it as just the holidays and then the rest of the year is fine. But the problem is those people don't know a lot of teachers or a lot of students. So April, May come around, and April and May are like a second set of holidays, especially if you work in the school system or if you're a student in the school system. But even for parents, just, kind of in that realm, April, May is a hard time of year. People are getting ready to leave on vacation. People are having showers. People are doing, getting married. People are graduating. There's so many things going on that then again, we've got another area where we've got to kind of maintain. So we've got November, December with all of our holidays. We've got April, May, and in between those times are great times to sprint. Where's the next one? Well, the next one becomes August, right? So August is kind of a standalone because everybody's getting ready for back to school, getting ready to hit, busy season at work and those kinds of things. So just understanding that there are times during the year that are higher stress that we really need to focus on resting, not stopping, but resting, meaning that we're not focused as much on progression as we are on consistency. And then there are other times of the year when there are lower stress that we want to focus on sprinting, where we are really focused on that progress. We want to make sure that we're getting done what we need to do and we're being very efficient with our efforts. So if you kind of put that into perspective, where we think about the sprint, rest, and then repeat cycle, then you'll start to have less frustration and more success, ultimately leading to more happiness with you. So if you need a recipe for success, if you need help with that, keep in mind it's not a bad thing to reach out and ask for help. We are a team of trained professionals that do this for a living. So we don't have to go to Pinterest and look for the next best thing or get onto, online websites to find the next best thing. Instead, we dig into the research for you. We find what's most effective, most efficient, and all of our workouts are typically around 30 minutes. So you are not going to waste an entire day in the gym. You're going to be able to get in and out and on with your day. My job is to make sure that you have very few excuses to not get this done. So we do things with little to no equipment. We give you an exact done for you plan and make sure that you know exactly what to do every step of the way. And if you have any questions, then you always have room to call and get support or come in and ask for help, and we can do that. So if that sounds like something that you are needing, especially this time of year, a little extra support in this chaotic time, we'd be happy to do that for you. Everything is given to you exactly as it should be done, and we walk you through the whole process. And if you fall off the wagon, we don't even yell. We work on a clean slate policy, so we want to make sure that each day is new for you, and that if something's not working, that we fix it to help you out. Feel free to give us a call, 806-322-3188. We'd love to talk with you more about those things and just kind of how we work in general, see if we're the right fit for you. But I will tell you that the more clients that we have going through those chaotic times, the more clients we have appreciating the support that they're getting during those times. I hope you have a great day.